Good morning. Happy Saturday. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I had to go get the coffee. You already know. Welcome to Saturday Morning Lives. Thank you guys so much for being here. As you come in, you know the drill. Go ahead and answer the question of the day, okay? Put your question of the day in the comment section and we'll get to them while we're doing that. Thank you guys for being here. Let me pull up something really quickly. I had 2 comments on my questionnaire links. I want to make sure we discuss those today. So bear with me. Thank you guys for waking up early and joining me for Saturday Morning Lives. I do love it. And let me see who's here because I saw that Desi was here. Hey, Desi, good morning. Somebody drop in the comments if you all can hear me okay. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Desi says, hey, Chris and everyone. For her question of the day, I would say my budget may need a little work. Okay, let's talk about that, Desi, because I look up to you when you do your budgets because you are consistent. You guys make sure you are following our friend here, Desiree Wealth. You want to learn about budgeting and different methods. Desi will teach you because she is not afraid to try a new one, okay? Hi, Michelle. I think this is an emoji I can't see, but welcome. Thank you for joining. There's Izella. Happy New Year, friend. Happy New Year. There is Bunny. Good morning. Make sure you are answering that question of the day because today we are going to discuss, and I want you to think about this. Everyone think about this. If you just started budgeting, in 2024, so this was your first time working on your budget, trying to get your budget together, this is how you do it. So think about that. How would you do it with everything that you've learned starting the new year? We're going to talk about it, okay? Now let's see. This is DTG, question of the day. No, but I am learning. Absolutely. And we're all still learning, right? It's never perfect. You get a system that works for you, but you always switch it up. We're going to talk about that. You got to make sure you're looking at your budget constantly because things change, your income changes, life changes. So you got to make sure your budget changes with you. Hi, Denise. Hi, welcome. First time. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Belinda. Oh, looking good. Y'all, you see this right here? You see this haircut? This is what's known as kitchen beautician. Let me know if you know what that means. you should see my mama helping me. We get a bathroom towel, get them scissors. I'm like, cut it off. I ain't doing nothing. Hi, budgets. Welcome, sir. How are you? We are talking about if I just started budgeting in 2024, I do this. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Make sure you're answering that question of the day. Tamika says she's consistent with her budget. Yes, that's the deal. You got to stay consistent. It's so tedious. We don't want to. I know for those of you who aren't, it's because it's a chore. I was working on my budget yesterday. Lord knows it was not part of my plans for the day. But I was like, you know what? I just got paid today. Let me go ahead and knock this out. 3 hours later, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. You could get lost in your budget, can't you? Lord Jesus. Let me go ahead and take this banner off here. I thank you all so much for being here. As you come in, please make sure you are hitting that like button. Hey, Amanda Moo, let me see what she says. I've not been consistent in the past because our variables sometimes really vary. We are buckling down this year to pay debt down. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let this be the year of getting that debt paid off. Good morning. Hey, thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. Okay. He Budget says, I'm off my budget right now. We'll be getting back on it as soon as I get settled into my home. You got yourself a home. Congratulations. I knew you were going through the paperwork. But y'all, that's another thing. When you get that home, first home, second home, whatever home it may be, you really gonna be looking at that budget. It's gonna be like, okay, this ain't written. This is for real, for real. I'm telling you, if you weren't looking at a budget before you get a home, you will now. I'm not, but this year I'm gonna try harder. Yes. This is gonna be the year where we're gonna work harder on our budgets. We're gonna focus, we're gonna get debt paid down. Belinda says I'm constantly making changes to my budget. You have to. You have to. It doesn't stay the same. Sometimes you may wonder why you're failing at your budget. It's because things have changed in your life, but you haven't changed your budget. Think about that for a minute. So thank you all for answering the question of the day. Let's see. Question of the day. First time working on my budget. It's not perfect, but I'm going to keep at it. Yes. See, I like that. You got to keep at it. And like I just said, working on a budget can be frustrating, y'all. Like you got to set aside time. You've got to set aside time for it. It's not something you can just be like, plug some numbers in and just pray for the best. It is a full-time job. Hey, Tony, thank y'all so much for being here. I'm still working on consistency. Hey, Nikki, Happy New Year. I'm very consistent with my budget every 2 weeks. Yes, I just saw your video talking about that too. I am doing my budget for the first time this year. Yeah, Jamil, there you go. Let's see, embracing budgets and savings. Happy New Year. Hey, Jackie, Happy New Year. Come on in, guys. So I wanted to talk about this topic because, as you guys all know, it's a new year. And what always happens in the new year, we want to get ourselves together. It's new year, new me, new budget, new things, all of the things. So I thought, okay, and I saw all of these topics going around about the same topic. So I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it from a budgeting perspective. If I started brand new this year, what would I do? And I have 4 things that I've written down that if I was just starting budgeting right now, these are the 4 things that I would focus on now. These are just 4 categories that I've come up with, but I want us to discuss it. Let me know what you think and drop in the comments below. If you were just starting, what 4 topics would you focus on? What 4 topics would you focus on? Think about that for a little bit. And let me see. How do you budget if you don't know what your payment amount is until your payday? I get paid different amounts each day. That is a great question. That is a great question. DTG, let me know, did you reach out to me on my questionnaire? Because I was going to ask if this is you, I was going to ask your question. But you guys, look at this question. How would you budget if you don't know what you're going to get paid until each payday? Let me know how you would answer that. This is how I would answer it. Every payday, you may get paid something a little bit different, but the one thing that is typically consistent is your bills. Typically, your rent's the same. Typically, your cable bill's the same if you have that. Car insurance, car payment, all of those things are the same. So when you do get paid, kind of guesstimate, some people do a guesstimate of their budget and they guesstimate what they're going to make. You kind of know your hours, what you're getting paid, and then you do an actual budget and you write down the variances. How off were you? So that's the way I would get started. Write down all those bills, write down all those things that you got to have, your groceries, food, all of the things. Write you down a guesstimate of what it would look like if you got paid this much. And what I would do is sometimes I would come in a little under so you can budget for if it is this amount. And then once you get paid, you come in and you update it to your actual, and then you and then you adjust those numbers. Now, you have the kind of payday where you'll have to do that. Let me know what you guys think about that. And that is a juggling act right there. You're right. But there's some things that are consistent that you'll have to take care of. Let's see. We wanted a realistic goal for us. So while we could possibly pay it all off, our goal is at least half a debt gone. Half a debt gone. Sorry, guys, I had to take some coffee. Now, before we get started, and I'm going to get back to the comments because you know how time gets away from us. I want to show you guys, if I were to start budgeting in 2024, this is what I would do. And I have 4 categories that I would focus on. Okay. So let me pull up the first category here. And the first category that I would focus on is paying off debt. So let me make sure I say that again. If I was starting budgeting just now in 2024, this would be my focus, to pay off debt. I don't mean your mortgage. I don't mean your car note. That's secondary. What I mean is your consumer debt, your credit cards, your, personal loans, things like that. I would put a debt payment plan in place, and that would be my focus. Also, what I would do, and this is controversy, you guys may disagree with me, and I understand this. If I was just starting budgeting and I'm focusing on paying off my debt, I would not be focusing on sinking funds and cash envelopes at this time. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. You want to focus on getting this debt paid off, and you want to attack it like you have attacked nothing else. You want to put a plan in place, get a timeline together, and get this debt paid off. Don't be worrying about saving money in an envelope for, beauty and shopping and all of those things. Budget that into your main budget so that you do take care of yourself. But I want you going all in to pay off this debt. It is about to be income tax time. What are you doing with that income tax check? It's hard to take that check and pay it on a debt, ain't it? But have you thought about it? I want you to think about how much money you normally get for income tax, and would you be willing to take that money or some of that money and use it towards debt? Comment down below. If I was starting budgeting this year, this would be the first thing I would focus on and the only thing I would focus on. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me get back to the comments here. There's a lot of comments, so I do apologize if I missed anyone. So let's see. Yes, you can get lost trying to set up for a new year. I set up the budget during New Year's Eve. Oh, yeah, I'm still working on mine. I am still working on mine because there's a lot of things that you got to think about, but you shouldn't be rushed. Just because it's a new year don't mean, oh, I got to do a new budget. You still have the same budget, but you can tweak it. Maybe ain't nothing wrong with it. But don't get caught up in the whole new year hype that I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? I started last year, but fell off. Life happens. Ready to start all over and stop living paycheck to paycheck. There you go, Deanna. I like that attitude. You keep up with that attitude, it will happen for you. Absolutely. This year to save more money and pay down debt. Yes, I'm loving that. You're right. I'm sitting down. I'm still working on my budget for 2024, trying to figure out exactly in what direction I want to go. That's what I'm saying. You take your time. This is your budget. And we all have our videos. I'm getting ready to drop a video tomorrow. I hope you guys watch it. It's going to be about my financial goals for 2024. I didn't do it back in November and December because I didn't know. I'm still trying to put it together because I got to do what's going to work best and what I'm trying to achieve. So I always say this, and I did a video, a reel or short or something about this. Don't get caught up in all the videos that's out there making you think you got to do this and you got to do that. You take your time. There's no, deadline on a budget. Okay. I know I am behind on comments, so I'm going to skip down a little bit. Hey, good morning, CB. I see you here. Vocal with AJ Reeves. Hi there. Good morning, everyone. I'm now working on budgeting my finances, and I am proud of the work that I see thus far. There you go. There you go. I like that attitude. It's all about if you're proud, if it's working for you. Listen, and I cannot continue to say this enough. Take what you are reading and watching out there, use it as inspiration. These 4 topics that I'm saying and things that I'm saying, use it as inspiration. That doesn't mean that just because what I would do, that's what you would do. Okay. You draw inspiration from it, see what works for you, or you go off on your own path. But one of the main things I just want you guys to understand is don't get caught up in what someone else is doing to try to fit it into your life. If you're new here, that's the part of the live where I kick myself out. First of all, did anyone have any bets on that that I would kick myself out the live 18 minutes into the live? I was hyped. Sorry, y'all. I was hyped. But let me just say this. That part that I just kicked myself out the live, did you see where I ended? That would have been a good ending to this live. Okay. All right, let me just make sure all my settings are okay, y'all. What would y'all do without me? I don't know. I'm silly. Okay, I'm back. Everything's good. If you're new to my live, that happens. Don't worry about it. All right, let me see. Can you guys hear me okay? Since I'm going to kick myself out the live. Hey, Cindy, good morning. How is ya? All right, I see Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Good morning. All right, let me see. I saw somebody say, oh, did I say hi to Chandra? Hi, Chandra. Okay, Michelle said, I pay me first, 2 emergency funds, and 3 bills. Yes, you got to pay yourself first. What are you doing if you don't pay yourself? Oh, let me see. Jan with Country Girl Budgets. Good morning, Chris. I have been consistently budgeting for a year now. It has truly helped our family financially. Now to be more consistent with filming videos. Oh my gosh. You know what? Do y'all hear Elijah? Can you hear my nephew? He is screaming his little head off. He was okay just a minute ago. You know what? Consistency with your videos will come. Okay. Focus on you first and your budget and what you're trying to build, and then hit record. You understand? Like, make your budget and your priorities and what you're trying to teach. Get consistent with that first, then hit record and post those videos. That's my philosophy anyway. Look, how dare should have kicked herself out. My first time of the new year kicking myself out. Don't worry. These are my members. They know me. They know me well. Okay, let's see. Hey, Shonda, good morning. Oh, there's Trina. Good morning. Listen, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Oh, I'm not that far behind. Okay. All right, let's see. I paid down debt last year and did some savings challenges. It came in handy for Christmas, and the remainder will go towards my insurance. Very good. Very good. Hey, listen, let me ask y'all a question. Speaking of Christmas, this is a side note. When do you start saving for Christmas? Are you thinking about it? Have you started? I've started. Who started? Christmas will sneak up on you. Won't it? I'm telling y'all right now, y'all think it's January 6th. You're going to look up tomorrow and it's going to be September 1st. I'm telling you, time is flying and I don't know what's happening. So if you haven't started saving for Christmas, even putting a couple dollars away here and there, you may want to start thinking about it. Okay, that was a side note. Okay. Tell yourself I was wondering what happened. Y'all don't worry about it. It happens occasionally. Y'all need to start taking bets on when it's going to happen. Okay, let's see. I have to work on my budget. I created all these savings challenges before we got our new place. Now I have to choose which ones are more of a priority since I have less money to put to the side now. Whew. Let's talk. This topic is not about savings challenges, but it does have to do with it because as we work on our budget, we do use savings challenges to kind of help us with saving towards those things that's important to us, especially paying off debt. Savings challenges are the best thing ever invented, right? But we got to be careful with them. I'm thinking about Shonda's comment right now. She has to pick which one is priority, which one is going to get her there. See, when we do savings challenges, you guys, we got to get in the mindset on why am I doing this challenge? What am I using it for? Is it helping me to pay off something? Am I saving for something big? Or am I just doing this savings challenge just to do it? Okay, we got to think about that. Make sure you're putting those savings challenges to use because if not, you will find yourself, and it's not hard, you will find yourself with a million savings challenges and you can't complete them all and you forgot what the main goal was. Okay, let's think about that. I love all the savings challenges in the world. I got savings challenges here. I want to remind y'all to buy. But it's totally up to you to make sure you are picking out the ones that's going to help you reach the goal you're trying to achieve. Hey, Myra, I see you. Okay, let's see. I started January saving for Christmas. Yes. I threw $5 in my Christmas envelope. There you go. That was some of that rollover money in there. See, this is how you budget out. Budget out and make a plan for the things that's priority and what you want to save for. Then put a little bit to, there's no rush. Put a little bit to the side each time. But if you know you have debt and debt to pay off, make that your priority. Once you get that debt paid off, not only is it the best feeling in the world, you will find how much money you have free and the things that you can do. Oh my God, it's such a great feeling. Let's see. Everyone started their Christmas savings challenges. I don't save for Christmas. I think I might this year. Maybe I'll start in May. It'll give me 6 months to save. Yes. Yes. Let's see. Okay, Celeste says track expenses. You can't make a budget until you know where your money is actually going, where you need it to be going, and where it is actually going right now. List all monthly and annual bills. You see how she said annual? You can't forget about them annual bills because we do have them. You got to make sure they're listed. Hey, Karen, good morning. I usually start my first paycheck for January for Christmas. However, I had a magic month in December and started a month earlier. Oh my God. God bless a magic month, right? So, guys, if you started budgeting in 2024, what would you do? I told you if I started in 2024, the first thing I would do is make sure any debt I had to pay off, that would be top priority. Nothing else. And I would attack it. You would think something was wrong with me the way I was attacking that debt, but you got to come up with the plan. Okay. You got to come up with a plan and timelines and everything to get that. Don't just say I'm paying off debt and don't just put money in an envelope to pay off that debt. You got to say, I'm paying off this small debt first. I'm going to get it paid off in 3 months by putting this much towards it. So you got to make sure you outline it carefully to get it done. Okay. The second thing I would do if I started budgeting for the first time in 2024, I'm going to focus on investing. Comment down below, what do you guys think about this? Once I get that debt paid off, then I'm focusing my money on investments. When I first started budgeting, I wasn't thinking about that. See, when I first started budgeting, there's nothing wrong with this, but I was so busy doing research and watching all the budgeters and all the things that when I started budgeting, what was big at the time was sinking funds and saving for the things that you want, which is a great thing. I love sinking funds. But if I started today, I would definitely make sure that I focused on investing. Are any of you guys working on investments? Are you putting money away for investing? Comment down below. Let me know what's your strategy when it comes to investing. Have you even had a chance to think about it yet? Because we have got to make sure that we're putting a little money to the side. I did a short about this the other day, and I mentioned Mommy Trader. Many of you guys know who Shalise, our friend Shalise, our investie bestie is, but if not, make sure you look up Mommy Trader. She is one of the great people in our community that will break down investing for us, especially investing for beginners, and tell us how we can invest our money with as little as $1 a day. See, we've got to start thinking about our future. Not right now. We got to think about our future. Okay. All right. Let me see. So those are the two things I would start doing. Let me see in the comments what you guys are doing. Again, thank you all for being here. Please hit that like button and please let me know if you're enjoying this topic and if you want more topics like this, because this is what Saturday Morning Lives are about. It's about us coming together, discussing these things as a group, and just possibly getting some feedback from one another that will help inspire us. Okay, let me see. I think I'm here on Amanda Move. Our current plan. Hold on, Amanda. Let me get some coffee, please. Hold, please. Everyone ponder. That coffee about cold. Our current plan put $1K to debt every month until August. Oh my God, that's a great plan. That will pay off half a debt then. Then $1K from September, October, and November will go towards Christmas. See, I like this. I like this. She has a plan in place. Now I want you to break that down even more. What are you doing for that 1K? What are you doing to come up with that 1K? Are you putting, a certain percentage of your income? Are you doing a challenge to get you there? What are you doing? How are you getting that 1K? And how are you going to stay dedicated to making sure it goes in there every month? I love this plan. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You get yourself a debt repayment plan. I use an app that pulls small amounts out of my account for Christmas. Ooh, I like that. Miss Ophelia, if you wouldn't mind, please share that app with us. I like that. Where's my chapstick? Here it is. That's a nice app. Okay. I am doing savings challenges to go straight to my sinking funds. I need to have some sort of fun while saving. Absolutely. Absolutely. We just don't have the funds to do sinking funds and savings challenges separately. Amen to that. I'm glad Toya mentioned that. Listen, again, two things that I like that Toya just said. And if you are a beginner and you're just getting into budget, listen carefully because I love what she just said. The first thing she just said is we don't have the money to do sinking funds and savings challenges separately. Okay. Remember, this is all saving, right? So you do it, whatever motivates you, but don't do it because, oh, I got to have sinking funds and I got to have savings challenges and I got to save for this. Remember, you got to have a plan for what you're saving that money for. What is the reason? Don't try and do what everyone else is doing if it does not work for you. A couple savings challenges here and there is fine. Your sinking funds, that's fine. The first way you're going to get ahead is that you've got to talk about, write down, think about what's best for you and what's most important for you. Okay. The second thing is Toya said is she uses them because it's fun. Yes, absolutely. Do whatever motivates you to save and meet that goal. If it's something that's going to make it fun, absolutely do that. Oh my gosh, because we all know saving is boring. It is boring. So you got to do something that hypes you up in your head to make it fun. I love what she just said. Hi, Ricky. Good morning. Ricky says she's saving for Christmas now too. Have consistently kept a written budget since last year. You guys, even if you don't do written budgets, you can do digital budgets. And those are out there. And there's a lot of our digital planners out there and they love it. And a digital planner will make sure it will upload everything for you. You know, you can do it throughout the whole year and you go in and tweak it, sit down and see what works best for you. But I love a written budget. I love because I have to make sure. See, when I write it down, same thing with digital, I'm sure. But when I write it down, I know I have to put forth the effort to look at it, to get that pen, to sit down and write that budget. That's how I know I'm like, come on, girl, let's do it. So that helps motivate me. Let's see. Chris, what's the best way to pay off credit cards? Oh my goodness. I love this question. And if you guys have paid off your credit cards or if you're working on your credit cards, make sure you comment down below for Jan. I'm going to tell you the best way to pay off credit cards for me. I have been credit card debt free since I started this budgeting journey for 2.5 years. And it took me several times before I finally got smart about it. The best way for me is the debt snowball method. Now, I know we've had this discussion before. Which one works best? Debt snowball or debt avalanche? Debt snowball is the best way for me. And I had multiple credit cards and I took the smallest balance credit card first and I attacked it and I put everything extra towards it and I paid it off. And then I went to the next card and I took all of the money that I was paying on that card plus the minimum payment I was paying on that second one. And I just started attacking it and putting it all onto these cards until I got to my last card, the highest amount. And this is the most important thing that I did that helped me become debt free. And you guys comment down below. What do you think if you agree? When I had my last credit card payment to pay off, I forget the amount. I want to say maybe it was, maybe the balance was $5,000. I don't remember now, but I had to think long and hard. And this was a hard decision I made. I had money in my savings account. Okay. But I kept paying this minimum payment on this card, but I had the money in my savings account to pay it off. And I will never forget this day. I kept looking at my budget and I kept coming up with different ways. If I took this last amount and now I'm going to take 12 months and I'll pay this, this, and this. And then finally I was like, Chris, no. The money is going to come back to you. Take that money out your savings account and you pay off this credit card right now. Do not make a budget for another year when you have the money sitting right there. And I never looked back. I took that money. It hurt me like hell. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I had to think about that long and hard. but I took that money out my savings account. I paid off that last credit card and I have not looked back. And that money has come back to me times 3. Do you understand? That is my method of paying them off. And we can do another live on paying off credit cards because I am a true advocate about that. I'm a true advocate. Hi, Mandy. Good morning. All right, let's see where we are. Hey, D. D says yes to investing. I have made so much this year on dividends from investing. Listen, you guys, we'll have a live about investing. I'm going to see, I love getting Shalice on here. I have Shalice on here a lot because, for one, I respect her opinion and what she says. Okay. I don't even know if she's here today, but whenever Shalice speaks, I listen. And whenever she talks about dividends, it reminds me, go pay attention to your dividends. I went and looked at my dividends. Lord, I had a dividend that paid me $16 the other day. I was like, what? I was so happy because usually like 30 cents. Man, you got to pay attention when you're investing into all the things. And that's something we got to make sure we're taking care of. If I started budgeting in 2024, I would absolutely make sure I was focusing on investing. Okay, let's see. Top priority is an emergency fund and then debt. Those medical deductibles take me out. Woo! Y'all, we're going to do a live on medical deductibles. First of all, this is just my advice to you. When you're saving for those emergency funds and all the things, make sure you're putting away some money for medical. It's so necessary. It's so necessary. You don't know when a medical expense will pop up on you, but when it do, woo, it ain't cheap, is it? It is not cheap. All right, you guys, let me see where we are. Let me get caught up. I am going to start investing this year, and I will use the interest earned from my high yield savings account to do so. Okay, Tamika. Listen, y'all are dropping. First of all, hold on a minute. Let me sit back a minute. Y'all trying to drop dimes this morning. I have never, ever thought about this. Y'all, look at what Tamika said. She going to use the interest earned from her high yield savings account to do so. I have never, Tamika, that is a great idea. Listen, if you're wondering about where you're going to get money from investing, listen to what Tamika just said. Take that money. If you have high yield savings accounts, and we're going to talk about that, make sure you take the extra money, the interest, and use that towards investing. Then you're not worried about extra money, where I'm going to get the money from. It's right there. And if you don't have a high yield savings account, we're going to talk about that. That's one of our lives to schedule for the end of the month. Oh my God, Tamika, I'm writing that down. Let's see. Stock Sisters and Wall Street Trapper. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Make sure we follow them too. So if your paycheck is inconsistent, okay, this is Shonda probably responding to our other question up there from Deanna. If your paycheck is inconsistent, create a baseline budget. Look at your past paychecks and see what is the average amount and budget using that amount. I love it. Absolutely. We don't all have those consistent numbers that we know. Like my paychecks are the same. They are the same every paycheck. So I can sit down and I can write out what my budget is. But also one of the things that you guys want to make sure you're paying attention to, and I've said this before, as you're working on your budget, look at when your payments are coming out. Like, do you have everything coming out the first check and it's killing you? Is it spread all over the place? You can get those due dates changed. If you have credit card payments coming out, you can absolutely get them changed to what works best for you. You can call and request, a different due date. I made sure to do that when I was paying off my cards. I made sure to go and request, I want all of these cards with a due date on the 15th, because I knew when I got paid, that was the check I wanted all of those payments coming out of. Have you guys done that before? Start looking at that with your budget. See, your budget is not just, I get paid this much. This is how much the bills are. This is what I need to do. You are examining that budget. Okay, if I have this amount come out here, if I move this is going to leave me with what? See, it's like calculations. You got to calculate all of that stuff to make it work best for you so you can have a little extra money each check. So you can have a little extra money for different things. And talk about it. Let's see. Karen says, I totally agree with you, Chris. When I started my journey 2 years ago, my only goal was to pay off all my debt. I only had credit cards. I never had student loans because my parents paid for my education. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. And one of the traps we all get caught up in, can y'all hear my nephew? Elijah, I'm gonna bring him back here. He is screaming his little head off, and only reason is he want to get picked up. But anyway, one of the traps, if you all, especially if you all have been in college, that's where they get you when you start falling into credit card debt. I'll never forget when the credit card places, I don't know if they do this now because there's so much stuff that's done online, but they would come and set up booths on the college campus, talk to you about credit cards and why it's so important and blah, blah, blah. That's what started my journey into debt. When they would come and set up shop and preach to me why I needed a credit card. I didn't know any better. No one was teaching me. And now just start signing up for every credit card thinking it was free money. Goodness gracious. So that's how most of our debt gets started. I know it did for me anyway. All right, let's see. I am behind. I'm scrolling all the way down. Let me make sure I'm not. Wait, I saw somebody say hi to Shalise. Is she here? Oh, there she is. Hey, good morning, you guys. If you're new here and you've heard me talking about investing and our friend Shalise Mommy Trader, this is her. I want you to make sure you go follow her. She has all kind of videos on investing for us beginners. She will get you set straight. This is our girl right here. Good morning, Shalise. So we are talking about if I just started budgeting in 2024, I do this, okay? First thing I said is I pay off all my debt. I'm telling you, go hard at it, attack it. That's the only thing on your agenda. Pay off that debt, okay? Oh, it's so hard, I know. It's so hard. You know, you want to save up for certain things and you will get there. You will get there. But you've got to be strict and hard on yourself to get that debt paid off. Nothing else matters. Second thing I would do is focus on investing. Okay. That's the second thing I would do if I just started budgeting in 2024. Okay. The third thing I would focus on next is my emergency fund. If I don't have an emergency fund, this would be the third category that I would start focusing on. Now, I know many of us have emergency funds, but comment down below if you haven't started one yet. One thing I want to make sure everyone understands about an emergency fund is what you need to cover yourself in the event that something unexpected happens. Okay. So an emergency fund is not, the 100 envelope challenge. An emergency fund is not, I got to save, $5,000, $10,000. That's not an emergency fund. An emergency fund is something that you have saved up that will cover you in the event that something happens. Think about it. So say you get into a car accident, knock on wood, no one does. What will cover your deductible in case that happens, that it doesn't catch you off guard? See, that's how I imagine emergency funds. What if something happens? What do I need to cover if this happens? What if something happens that, knock on wood, I can't go to work for the next couple of months? What do I need to cover in case that happens where I'm not panicking? See, I want everyone to understand that emergency fund doesn't equal large amount. Emergency fund equals what will help me if this situation occurs, okay? I say that to say, as you start focusing on emergency funds, if you are just now starting to budget, start off small. Start off with that deductible, $500, $1,000. What would cover you in the event something happens that you don't have to freak out and you ain't got nothing to cover it, okay? Comment down below. Let me know what you all think about that. Let me get back to the comments. I'm sorry. Hey, Erica, I see you. Good morning. Okay, let me see. I've missed a couple people. Let me scroll back up. Oh, I'm so happy y'all are here. Please let me know if you are enjoying this live. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me make sure I'm not missing. Hey, Vanessa, good morning. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. Hey, Kiki, I see you. That 1K is coming off the top with the bills. Okay, this is Amanda, how she's going to attack saving $1,000 every month for the 6 months to get her debt paid off halfway. $500 per paycheck to whichever debt we are working on that month. And see, I like to hear this with Amanda. Again, savings challenges and all the things help motivate us. They are fun. Okay. But you may not need that. Listen, if you are serious about paying off your debt and getting things done, maybe you don't, you can't afford savings challenges. There are some free ones out there. But maybe, you don't need that. You You don't have to have that. Amanda said, right off rip, $500 each paycheck. This is where it's going. Go back to basics. Write it down, pen and paper, $500 savings going towards debt. See, sometimes you don't need all of the extra things. We do it to help motivate us, to help us get to a place where we need to be, because sometimes we need that little push. But sometimes it's just like this amount right here every week. Okay. Hey, Shalonda, good morning. Shalonda says she's still working on her budget. I think after this month, I'll have everything in order. Maybe. Ain't that the truth? Listen, and I will continue to say this. A budget is not set in stone. Okay. A budget can change. You may set up a budget and be like, this ain't gonna work. What am I doing? This is not gonna work. You change it, you switch it. You guys, just because it's the first of the year does not mean this is the budget you have to stick to the rest of the year. Okay. It can change. It definitely can change. You got to make it work for you. That is the key thing that I cannot stress enough. Let me take this banner off. All right. Let me see. Wait, Desi, you're back in extra leg, girl. Where you go? Are you working? Let's see. Oh, hold on. Let me see what D says. Investing in HSA, yes, has been a game changer for me. I will pay any medical bill with that and gain dividends. Yes. And we need to do a live on that because, oh, I forget who talked about the HSA on the last time we had a live, but this is good. This is a great topic to talk about, just the benefits you have at your jobs, you guys, that you can invest in. Well, it just works wonders for some of the stuff. Did you even know you had opportunities like that in your job? When you guys do your benefit enrollments at your job, do you look into all of the voluntary benefits and the extra benefits that they offer? A lot of us, we focus on, I got to get that medical, I got to get that, dental, I got to get this. But do you look at all the other stuff? Like my job offers a lot of voluntary benefits that I include. And some of them, it's about financial help. And by help, like helping you with the budget. Some of it is how to invest. There's all kind of things that you can sign up for. I wonder if you know about that. Let me know if you do or not. Okay, let's see. Yes, that is a great idea, Tamika. I'm telling you, Ricky, I'm telling you, Tamika was like, let me show y'all something. Man, if I'm not about to do that, and that's the great thing about high yield savings accounts. They collect very, very, very good interest. Some of my emergency funds I have in my high yield savings accounts, they've just been sitting there for like a year. And every month, the amount of interest that I get on it is just awesome. So to know that is extra money I can pull towards investing, that's one of the greatest things. I'm about to do that tomorrow. I'm not lying. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Okay, so we're gonna work. If I was starting to invest in 2024, I pay off that debt. I would focus on investing. I would make sure I have an emergency fund for what works for me. And then the last thing I would do, if I just started investing as a beginner, okay, this is one of the things that as long as I've been budgeting, I've never focused on actual cash envelopes where we take cash, we divvy it up for the next couple of weeks when we get paid, and this is how much we're going to spend. Now, the reason I'm throwing this in here because this has been helping me tremendously. I have never done this in all of the budgeting, videos and all of the things. What I normally do is use my credit card and then pay it off. But I have noticed that I have been getting myself in a lot of trouble. And by trouble, I mean, I am spending way too much on eating out. I mean, way too much. I mean, to the point that when I get my credit card bill, I have probably spent close to $700-800 in a month. I'm not kidding. And then what I'm doing is I'm using my buffer money and extra money to make sure that card gets paid off. So, and this has been happening for like you guys for the past year. So finally, this past couple of months, I was like, all right, this has got to stop. I'm not going to stop eating out, but I've got to cut back. I was like, let me try stuffing cash envelopes. I've never done it before. Never done it before. I've been doing it and it has been helping me so much. So much. And I think it's that old theory, well, I got from my mama and my grandmama. When you have to break a bill, have y'all ever heard this? When you got to break a bill, by break a bill, I mean a 20, 50, 100, you think twice about what you want to spend money on. Like when I got a 20, I want, I got to think long and hard. I don't want to break no 20 because that's how fast your money goes. So one of the things, if I were to start budgeting now fresh, I would definitely use taking cash out, allocating how much I want to spend for the 2 weeks or until I get paid. And I would use that for my expenses. Okay. Comment down below. Let me know if you're using this because I'm late to the party. But let me know what you think about that. And let me get back to some of our comments here. Let's see. Everyone's saying, oh, everyone, Toya said brunch sounds nice. Yes, I love a good brunch. Oh, I love a good brunch in the springtime, summertime, off the water. Oh, there's nothing better than that. Let's see. Always happy, always glad to help my budget fam. Yep, that's what we are. We are one big family, one big community. We should be helping one another. Like I said, it is all about drawing inspiration from each other, taking bits and pieces here that inspire you on your journey. Because that's why we're doing it. That's why we do these videos. We do them to hold ourselves accountable, and hopefully it will reach or help someone, right? Let's see. Yes, that's how I got credit cards in college. One of those credit card tables. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They would set up those credit card tables, have their little displays, talk to you about credit and blah, blah, blah. You a college student. You ain't got no money. It don't make no sense. 2023 was brutal. No, depleted my emergency fund, so I'm building it back up. Whew. That is one of the hardest things, right? When you got to deplete anything. But all I can say is, thank God you had it. See, that's the point of an emergency fund. It hurts. I don't know about y'all, especially when it comes to saving money. And I got this bad. I will save money in my little categories, and I'm so proud of how much I save. But when it comes to having to use it, I don't want to bear with it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to no, you're not taking. You know how long it took me to save this? Oh, it's the hardest thing. I will never, ever forget. I will never forget when I first started budgeting. I watched this channel and I remember the girl, I don't remember the channel's name, but I remember her saying that something went out. It was either some appliances or something went out. Her and her husband, appliances went out. She had the money in her emergency fund, but what did they do? They went and they ran up the credit and put the new appliances or whatever it was on their credit because she couldn't touch her emergency fund. She did not want to part with it. Girl, I was screaming at that phone. Like, girl, if you don't take that money out the emergency fund, see, we get attached to it because we've worked so hard. But don't forget, that's what it's for. Don't go into debt because you don't want to use that money you save. You don't want to touch it. Or if y'all could have seen me screaming at that phone. That's probably why I don't remember, because she made me so mad. I probably didn't go back to that channel. But y'all, don't go into debt when you have the money. Don't. That's why we're saving it. Okay. We got to get in that mind frame. Okay. Let me see. Hey, Tracy, I have an emergency fund and a mini emergency fund. Me too. Y'all, I got so many emergency funds. I got so many emergency funds to back up my main emergency fund. So if something happens, I'm telling, like Tracy said, I'm going after that mini emergency fund to use it. You ain't touching my main emergency fund. Back off. Back off. But yeah, Erica, I know how that feels when you got to deplete it, but that money will come back to you. The money will come back to you. What you can't do is let it get you down, get defeated. You're still upset. You're sad over it. Okay, I had to deplete it. It sucks. You got to get back on track. See, when we don't get back on track and we let it defeat us, that's when it gets hard. That money gonna come back to you. My emergency fund helped me cover when my battery died in my car 2 days ago. And I had the cash to pay for it. It's a beautiful feeling. Y'all, is that not the best feeling in the world when something goes down or something like that happens and you have that money saved for it. I'm telling you, back in the day before I started this, I'm not good at money. I will sit here and tell you, I was awful with money. And if something like that would have happened to my car and the battery died, I don't know where I would have got the money from. I would have been crying, calling relatives, trying to borrow $200-$300. $200-$300. Didn't even have it. Now I have it saved and it is the best feeling. I don't even panic. I just go get it. Here you go. Because that is the best feeling in the world to have that money saved up, y'all. It's a beautiful thing. And some of us may not be there, but we are on the road and we're going to get there. And that's why we have these lives. We are going to get there because it is the best feeling in the world. I'm telling you. Let's see. I read that one. Emergency funds are so important, and it's absolutely okay if you need to use it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, at work till 3:30. Been talking to people since 7:30. Why people want to talk so early? What they got to do at 7:30 in the morning? New to your channel and new to the Savings Challenge family, enjoying your content, tips, and information. Well, thank you and welcome. And first of all, this avatar right here. Okay. Oh my God, that is so cute. Look at her picture on that penny. Oh my God. And if you're new to my channel, I like stuff like this. I love editing and all the things. And that right there is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Let's see. Yes, I'm done messing around and ignoring debt. Okay, Mandy Moo. We've owned it and we are getting rid of it. Just like when I hoarded an obscene amount of yarn and never used it. Let it all go. Let it go. Y'all, don't be afraid to get rid of that debt and let it go. Now, y'all hear me say this all the time. You're probably going to come swinging at me. But those of you who are about to get them income tax checks and you getting 5, 6, 7, 10 grand or more. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Because believe me, I understand. I understand. When you are, working so hard all year, you don't have the money for stuff. You wait for that one time a year when you're going to get a lump sum of money. But just listen to me. I keep telling you all, the money will come back to you. That lump sum of money is only going to last a couple months, if that. And then you're going to be back in the situation. Now, imagine if you were able to pay some of that debt down. Then you got that money. See, that money you've been dedicating on that debt and dragging you down. Now that's going to be free. Now you got that. And that can compare to a lump sum. A lump sum is going to disappear if you don't use it right. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right. Let's see, you guys. Oh my God, it's going on 11 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun. I did want to ask everybody. Let me just find out from everybody. Do you remember when you first started budgeting? Do you remember? What was that like? Like, who inspired you? What made you sit down and said, okay, I'm going to budget? Because before I started doing this, I was never budgeting. I don't know what I did. First of all, I probably didn't have a way to budget because as soon as my money came in, it was going right back out. Like we said, living paycheck to paycheck. But what inspired you to finally sit down and say, okay, I'm getting serious about this. I'm going to write a budget down. I'm going to do all of the things. Who inspired you? Or when did you start budgeting? And I took the question down too fast. Let me put it back up there. If we have a lot of people who are just starting to budget and they're budgeting as beginners, those are the 4 things that I would focus on if I were to start budgeting right now as a beginner. Okay. Those are the 4 things that I would start on. I would focus on paying off debt. It's so important. Get the debt paid off. Not like I said, not your mortgage, not like your car loan. That can come second. I'm talking about those little bitty, balances, payday loans, all of that stuff, taking cash advances and can't get yourself out of it. Get rid of all of that. Now is the time. It's 2024. I would focus on investing. Investing so important. I would make sure I have a good emergency fund built up and just try to cash envelopes if you haven't tried it. If you're struggling with going through your money, This will really help with your budget. Now, let me see if you guys remember the first time when you started budgeting. Hi, Trina. Good morning. The Traveling and Saving Chief. Good morning. Now, let's see if anyone remembers. Hey, Lynette. Yes, I get attached to save money. That's why we are doing 2 $500 payments when husband gets paid. That's nice. Y'all gonna get that debt paid off. I wasn't as focused and wasn't doing challenges like I used to after my mother passed in October. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. But my emergency and Christmas had already been fully funded. Now I'm getting back on track. There you go. You took a break. You worked through some things. Now it's time to get back on track. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I used the income tax to get us started on the road to financial freedom. That was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. I know it's hard. Listen, I know you're going to come for me. Don't come for me because I know you're waiting on that money all year. And I know it's hard to part with. It's only 1 year. If it's 1 year and that check will take care of your debt, do it. Do it. It will be the best thing that ever happened to you. Same with bonuses. If you get bonuses. Happy New Year, friend. Where you been? I've been budgeting for like 2 decades. I just wanted to know where I was spending my money initially. Listen, I've been budgeting for like 2 decades. Budgeting ain't new. Budgeting ain't new. The different types of budgets that we do and the different, tools and apps and all that stuff's new. But the idea of budgeting, that ain't new. That ain't new. So once you get started on it and you stay dedicated on track, oh, you will see a difference. You'll see a difference. Let's see. 2021, my daughter saw it on TikTok. Oh, man, I think I missed what this was about. Y'all know I love me some TikTok. Oh, wait. You saw budgeting on TikTok. I got you. January 2020. Because December 2019. First of all, hey, Lee, I ain't seen you in a minute either. Because December 2019, I was in a car accident and I realized I had no money to get a car and pay medical and was worried about my bills. And so that's what got you on track to budgeting. Y'all, and can some of y'all imagine how I started my budgeting journey during the pandemic? Oh my gosh. Did any of y'all start during the pandemic? Oh, Lord. That was a tough time. To this day, I am just so grateful and blessed that I was able to keep my job during that time. But imagine all of the people who lost their jobs during that time. That came and hit us like a ton of bricks. So I say that to say this. If nothing else, think about that moment where you were in that moment. And moving forward, make sure you are prepared. If nothing else motivates you, think about that moment to help motivate you to be prepared if anything were to ever happen like that again. That was a sad, sorry time, but it hit us like a ton of bricks and put reality in place for some of us. We lost our jobs. We didn't have anything. Then those of us that was getting unemployment, they gave us the unemployment, then they took it away. They gave us those stimulus checks, and then you had to get it together. So start budgeting and planning as if something like that were to happen again. You already see we had the recession. So that should motivate you. Yes. Oh my God, that was a horrible time. Yep, I remember 2 years ago, my story is on my page when my car insurance lapsed. Yes, I remember that. Dad had me in a chokehold and I searched cash envelope system because I seen an article. I ran across Beautifully Me and You. Oh, and then I found Jerry over in One Frugal Introvert. Isn't that funny how our journey started and some of the people we've seen, some of the people that are still doing this to this day. Started 10 years ago, scared of eviction and was tired of the stressful life. Ain't that the truth? She said, I was scared of eviction. Won't it do it? Want something that will happen that you are scared of? Oh, that'll snap you into reality real quick, won't it? Like, it's finally like, okay, that was like me. And you guys have heard me say this. You don't know how many times I've paid off my credit cards just to run them back up again. It is the most just awful feeling in the world. Like, why do you keep doing this? And you want to know another awful feeling in the world? is to only be able to pay the minimum payment. And you want to know why? Not because I didn't have the money. It's because that I'm just going to put this minimum payment down and just move on and use my money for other stuff. See, stuff like that, you will finally start like, okay, no, we got to get it together, sis. This can't continue. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see. 2 years ago, watching D versus Debt. Oh my God, so inspiring. See all of this? It's inspiring. Yes. I love it. I've been budgeting since I was 16 years old. My inspiration was my grandmother. She was doing the cash envelope system. Yes, absolutely. Man, y'all remember them grandmothers sit at that kitchen dining room table? Have all them bills spread out, have them envelopes spread out. Don't you mess with her. It's time to get stuff paid. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so funny. I just think back to that. Maybe have a glimpse of my grandmother. I started budgeting when I got frustrated about working every day and still crossing my fingers days before payday and struggling with unnecessary late fees. Y'all, we're going to church on this live. Oh, I can relate to all of this. I can relate to all of it. I started taking it seriously after stumbling on Salisa's channel and Budgets by Jada about a year ago. Oh my gosh. I love both of these ladies. Love them to death. And isn't it just something how you can, YouTube, especially during the pandemic, this is when budgeting is not new again, but that's when it became, more mainstream and more channels and you get to meet different people. Thank God those people were there at that time to help most of us get started on our journey. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, you guys, let me see. Let me start getting to some last final comments. But here, I want to do some reminders here. Thank you guys for joining me today. This has been a great topic. Comment down below if we need to continue to discuss this because I'm loving this conversation. Here is an upcoming look on the lives for the next month here. Next week, we are talking about what are sinking funds. Now, if you was here last week, y'all know we got into a good conversation about sinking funds. So let's get ready. Let's discuss sinking funds. Let's discuss what we're saving them for, what we're doing with sinking funds, and how many are too many. Y'all know some of y'all got about 40, 50 sinking funds now. It's time to come. We're going to have a come to Jesus moment next weekend. And then after that, on the 20th, we are going to discuss, should I open a high yield savings account? Should I open a high yield savings account and how to get started opening one? Because a lot of people don't know. So we'll talk about the different types and how to get started and why it's so important. Okay. So that is the upcoming lives that are coming up. You guys also, my virtual meetups are starting back. We're going to get together for Galentine's Day game night, February 10th. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and register today. This is going to be February 10th. We're going to have a game night. We're going to have so much fun, you guys. And if you guys are members, I'll get with you. So if you are a member of the Besties, you get in for free. Everyone else gets a discount. So make sure you mark your calendars and register today. Okay. All right. This has been such a great topic. Let's finish up with some more of these comments. Oh, and I forgot, you guys, really quickly. We're going to have to get to this topic next time. I had a couple questions on my questionnaire about this. Hold on one second. I forgot to bring these up. I am so sorry. Let me bring this up really quickly, you guys. Hold on one second. If anyone ever has any questions that they don't want to bring in the chat or, in the live, they want to just, send me a question. My questionnaire link is in the description box. Go ahead and hit the link, fill out the questionnaire, anything you have for this live, any comments, any suggestions for topics, any questions, make sure you drop them there. And let's see, this question. Oh, now this was advice. This is from Sassy Beauty Budget. She says her advice: if you're starting out, you're just starting to budget, be honest with yourself. Find out the cause of the spending leak or lack of income. So that's her advice. If you're just starting budgeting for the new year, you got to be honest with yourself. You can't just start writing numbers down on the budget. You just can't just start throwing numbers down. Part of the way we got to get out of the spending habit and saving money, sometimes we got to take a real long, hard look at ourselves to see why we're in the situation in the first place. Now, not everyone's in a bad situation. Not everyone's in a bad situation, but you still have to analyze what it is you're trying to do, what your goals are. You can't just throw numbers on a piece of paper. What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? I think that was great advice. And then this question we may have to get to next time because I did ask them to provide me with more information, but this was the question. The question was how to start dividing rent, rent up to make it easier. Like I pay $1,300 for rent and I get paid weekly. I divide it by 4, but also still owe from the last week. Where do I start? I feel like I'm always behind. And you guys, I want to touch on that topic. Maybe we can fit that in next week because that's a great topic. That may need to be its own live because that is a great question on how do I pay my bills? How do I break it apart so that I'm on top of it? Like, how do you guys do that? That's a great question. I may make that a separate live. And if anyone's here that you're beginners and you want to discuss your budget, you have questions on how you want us to look at your budget. It can be anonymous. Drop that in my questionnaire link. Maybe we have a live like that where we look at a budget. But this one was, how do I pay my rent? I try to break it in 4s and I still owe money. My response to that person, and I haven't heard from them, was I need an overall picture of how much you make. It's an overall picture. It's not just dividing the rent into 4 weeks and that's the magic numbers. No, it's also what else is coming out in those 4 weeks. Are there other bills that's due? Do you have to pay other stuff? What else are you spending your money on? See, that's how you start a good budget. You got to look at that overall picture. What else is coming out? Like I said earlier, are you getting hit up with 3 bills on the same paycheck? No, you can't divide it equally. So there's other things we need to look at. So we'll deep dive more into that the next time. So let's wrap it up here with some final comments. Hey, I see Fiona. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Steph's on a budget. Hi, Candace. Okay, let's wrap up some final comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's see. Let me see where I got. Did I see this from Sweet? Yes, I saw that from Sweet. Okay, let me see. I missed this from Erica. I started budgeting. I think I saw this. I saw that. Sorry. Y'all, I'm a little lost in these comments. Hold on. Let's see. I started budgeting at 22 and I'm a natural saver. Some people are a natural saver. Some people, this comes easy to. And if you are a natural saver, that's great. Like Tamika's a natural saver and she got her head on straight and she's doing all of the things. Sometimes we're a natural saver and this comes good to us. Now, what's the next step? Where are you taking that? Where are you taking that? Like we already know Tamika's a natural saver. Now she's focusing on investing. So if this comes natural to you and you're good at saving money, because sometimes, like I said, we don't need all the things. We don't need all the bells and whistles. Some of us do. I need a good bell and whistle to keep me motivated. Some of us don't. And that's fine too. You don't have to have all the things. As long as you are on the right track, then you're good. Let's see. I started the Budget Mom January 2020. I've never looked back. I love the Budget Mom. I didn't start. I'm sorry if this is shaking. I didn't start with the Budget Mom, but what I fell in love with the Budget Mom is back in the days. Right now she offers it for free, but back in the days when she started, she had monthly savings challenges. If any of you guys remember this, because I remember paying for mine. It was $10. I'll never forget, because I was like, wow, this is so awesome. And with that $10 for the whole year, she gave you 2 challenges a month, plus envelopes, plus the sheet, plus all the things to help you get on track with your money. And that's how I started using savings challenges. And I will never forget that. I will never forget that to this day. So that I love that takeaway from her. Love it. Let me see. Started in 1997 when I ran a not-for-profit. All right. I'm challenged with sinking funds. I would rather just take the whole amount, but I do believe sinking funds is an excellent idea. I'm about to take a second job to make debt payments, retiring in 5 years. There you go. There you go. Yeah. I want you guys to get ready. Next week's live, we're going to be discussing sinking funds. We're going to talk about sinking funds. Why do we do them? Why we got so many? I'm gonna save it for next week. But my takeaway is when you come back next week, I want you to think about it. If you are one of the people with 50, 60 sinking funds, why you got so many? But what you doing? Am I judging? No. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, let's see. My husband wants to spend our return like it's free money. I pay debt with it. We had to compromise. This year, no compromising goes to debt. There you go. I'm putting my foot down or somewhere else. She's feisty. You know what? But you know what? Jackie makes a good point, especially for those of you who have spouses, you're married. It's one thing to get your life together and focus on your budget when you ain't got another person. It's another thing when you got another person, a significant other, a spouse, and they are not in the right frame of mind that you are when it comes to paying off debt and saving money. That's a whole nother thing, because you got another being that you got to help understand this is why it's important, and they got other intentions. That's a whole nother thing that you're dealing with. God bless all of y'all, because I know that's not easy. That's not easy. All right. Our first year was crazy to see how much money we wasted. In 1 year, we bought a house and paid off a lot of debt. But that's good. That's good. You're paying off a lot of debt. You bought your first home. Congratulations on that. Home ownership. Lord, that's a whole nother thing too. 2 years ago, stressed of living week to week. And when an emergency came up, we had to ask someone to borrow money. And you know, when they get upset, they bring it up. Look at everyone. I hope that Salisa gets a chance to see this live. Look at all of you all who have found her channel and was inspired by her. She's a beautiful human being. I love her to death. And she is sweet as I don't know what. Look at everyone who's found her channel. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Beautifully me and you. Beautifully me and you. It's a beautiful thing. I love that. Let's see. Two sister bees and Salisa. Oh, I love this. It's a beautiful thing. My issue is saying no. I have 3 grown kids that always have an emergency. I have to keep dipping into my challenge money to help. Does anyone have that issue? That is a great topic. That is a great topic, Candace. Let me write this down. If you're new here, this is our also a member of our community. It's the notebook. And I have to write things down or I'll forget. But how to say no is a great lie for a topic, especially when you have money, you're trying to save money, you have those family members that don't get it. Oh, we've got to talk about that. We've got to talk about that, because that's a big, sometimes that is a huge impact on why you can't get ahead. Oh, I understand the feeling. I understand the feeling. All right, let's see. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Mommy Trader says, I have struggled with that for a long time, sis. Saying no to people and learning that it's okay. And you know what's the bad thing about saying no to people? They make you feel like you've done something wrong. Like their issue is your issue. How dare you say no? Look how you live and look at all you got. And you can't help me out. Oh, the guilt trip that comes with it. Being able to say no when you know it's the best thing for you, that is something we all have to deal with, because we don't want to not help people. That's not why we're saying no. We know the reasoning behind it, especially you got those repeat offenders that keep coming back. They ain't doing nothing. Or this was my issue back in the day. The people you loan money to and they don't pay you back, but next thing you know, they going on trips and kicking it. Like, you looking like, oh, what time? You about to catch a flight? Oh, okay. Have you ever, and we won't stay on this long because this is a whole other topic. And this is why it's hard to loan people money when situations like that happen. But have you ever been in a situation before when you've loaned people money, they don't pay it back, but they're out there spending all kind of money, and it makes you think to yourself, damn, did they forget? Like that's been me. Like, what's happening here? Did they forget? Or are they that disrespectful? I'm sitting right in your face. You just borrowed this money from me and you're talking about how you about to go and got to buy these tickets to go. Like, What do people be thinking? Oh, that's a special kind of person. We'll talk about it because that's a great live topic. All right. Hi, Kathy. I found you, oh, beautifully me and you, the aesthetic dollar and the fancy dollar. I've heard someone else mention the fancy dollar. I need to check out the fancy dollar topic and you channel. And you guys made it fun and understandable. So sweet. Now I have saved money since late March of 2023. Yes, I love it. I love to hear that. Who's some of our other new people in here? Oh, Angel's not new. Let's see. I've been watching everyone's budgeting challenge while waiting on my disability. Angel, you're waiting on that disability. I'm so sorry. For any of you all out there who are dealing with disability and waiting for disability, God bless you, because I wish something would change. I just wish something would change when it comes to disability and the way those departments are ran. And I don't know enough about it, but I know the stories are all the same. You make people wait who are really needing that money, and it's just not fair. And I don't know what can be done. It's kind of like what can be done. Anyway, that's a whole, don't let me get started. Okay, so 2024 will be my year to start budgeting. Thanks to all of you guys, I know where to start now. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's comments, but this has been a great live, you guys. From all of the comments that we've had here, we're definitely going to continue to talk about this, but I want you guys to, just have some takeaways from what we discussed today. And the number one takeaway I want you to take away and to know that if you're just starting, or even if you're not starting and you're trying to remain consistent, I just want you to know, as you do watch all of the channels on YouTube, even mine, remember, we all have our different paths. We all have our different journey. If you watch my videos, I want to hopefully give you the inspiration to see how it will help you on your journey. I don't want you to say, oh, Chris is saving 10,000, so let me save 10,000. Or, so-and-so is doing this 100 envelope challenge, so I'm going to do it, when that's not where you are. But take inspiration from it. Maybe instead of I'm going to save 10K because so-and-so's doing it, say, okay, I'm going to get serious about saving. Let me see what's a good amount and let me see how I can make it fit within my budget. Okay. As we start the new year, that's what I want you to focus on. All right. All right, you guys. So I'm sorry I didn't get to all the comments, but we're going to continue this conversation because this looks like a great conversation to have. Thank you guys all for being here and joining me. Come back next Saturday. We're going to talk about sinking funds. We're going to have a good conversation about that as it relates to budgeting. We will, if I get a response from the person who gave me that question about their budget, we'll continue the budget conversation. That will never end. Wait, I see Salisa. Good morning, everyone. Oh my God. So Lisa, before we get out of here, I don't know how long you've been here. I was just saying, I was hoping you were here. We were talking about when people started budgeting and what was their inspiration, what got them to start. And it brings tears to my eyes. So many people talked about how they came across your channel and how you've helped them. So I am so glad you're here oh my God, it's just so amazing. This community is so amazing. You guys, if you're not following Salisa from Beautifully Me and You, she's a wonderful person, you guys. Oh my God. And I see why so many people made that comment. What a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. So you guys, once again, make sure you walk away, take a look at your budget. What can help you get out of debt? How can help you save? What can help you save money? Okay, let's start focusing on that for the new year. I'm going to give you guys back some time in your weekend. Have a great weekend. Go relax. Go spend time with your family. Go focus on yourselves. And I will see you guys next Saturday. Okay, bye. Love you guys.